Welcome to the BBC News Desk. We have breaking news of a serious incident between Russian and NATO forces near the coast of Latvia. Although the details are uncertain, early reports indicate that a Russian surveillance aircraft was fired upon by naval vessels of NATO forces operating in that region, after apparently straying into Latvian sovereign airspace. It's unclear at this stage whether the Russian aircraft was shot down or not. This incident comes in the wake of a similar event some time ago, in which 2 Russian pilots were killed after being shot down by Turkish surface-to-air missiles near the border with Syria. It's not known what caused this latest incident or at exactly what time the conflict took place, but it is believed that it happened earlier today and that Russian forces have returned fire. The government has convened a meeting of the Emergency Cobra Committee, and senior members of the British military have been seen entering 10 Downing Street. There were chaotic scenes earlier today as Prime Minister Theresa May was rushed back to Downing Street as details of the international crisis began to emerge. She had been due to attend a meeting with senior business leaders in the city today, followed by a cross-party governmental committee meeting on electoral reform. But these plans have been cancelled in light of current developments. A government spokesperson said that no statement will be issued until the situation becomes clearer. Kate Miller reports.
News of the outbreak of military action between Russia and NATO has been greeted across the globe with expressions of concern and alarm. There are unconfirmed reports that Russian forces have retaliated by engaging in direct fire against several NATO warships. 2 US cruisers, the USS Princeton and the USS Gettysburg, are reported to be in the region, but it's not known if they were directly involved in the incident. The Ministry of Defence has yet to confirm these reports, stating that the situation is changing rapidly and that they'd be making a formal statement in due course, but acknowledging that something very serious has happened. In Europe, senior military leaders have been meeting at regional NATO headquarters, indicating that a response to what they describe as unwarranted Russian aggression is being planned. A general military alert has been issued across Europe, including the deployment of over 50,000 NATO troops to key points along the central border to Russia, and the activation of over 200,000 reserve troops from France, Germany, Holland and the UK. The first contingent of British troops has already left RAF Brize Norton. All military leave has been cancelled, and the mobilisation of all British forces nationally and
as an act of aggression and would be dealt with accordingly. North Korea has declared its support for Russia and has begun mobilizing an estimated 300,000 troops along the border to South Korea, increasing concerns that the growing military crisis in Europe will spread to other international locations. The governments of South Korea and Japan have expressed their concern at the increasingly belligerent statements of the North Korean government, stating that the nuclear capabilities of North Korea remain unknown but represent an immediate and significant threat. There are reports of massive troop movements within Russia, and there are real concerns that this conflict might escalate rapidly. Reuters news agency has reported that the much-feared Topol-M mobile missile launchers are being moved into strategic positions along the central frontier to Europe, so Russia is sending a very clear signal to NATO's Central Command. The representatives of the Polish government have just arrived. Surely they'll have serious concerns about Russian military intent, especially given their proximity to the Baltic states. Polite smiles all round, but the sense of urgency and tension is clear. And almost straight away we have another arrival. I'm not completely sure which country this delegation's from. This is live from Brussels. We can really feel the sense of urgency and tension in the air. Security is extremely tight, and very few of the representatives really want to stop and talk to the media. Clearly, this is a situation of the utmost seriousness, and no doubt a full military response is being planned.
And in breaking news, Buckingham Palace has announced that the Queen and senior members of the royal family have been evacuated to a secure location outside London. No details have been given, and it's not clear when exactly the evacuation took place, but sources indicate that the decision was based on advice from the Defence Secretary, who's currently attending an emergency session of senior NATO military leaders in Brussels. The Queen is apparently fully aware of the ongoing situation and is being kept informed of developments as they occur. Buckingham Palace has said that they will not be issuing a formal statement beyond this announcement, but that they urged people to remain calm and to monitor the situation closely. The Polish government has expressed their concern about the accumulation of Russian forces along its northeastern border with Belarus, fearing that they may push towards Germany and in doing so reclaim many regions within its country that used to be under Soviet control. Poland for many years has permitted
And we have similar scenes from NATO military bases and command facilities across Europe. Clearly, the military situation is of grave concern, but we're limited in what we can report. We've just heard that we can expect a live statement from NATO's Central Command in the next few minutes. Obviously, we'll bring you that as it happens. And we've just had news that the US ambassador and senior consulate staff are being evacuated from central London. Clearly, something has gone terribly wrong. Heavily armed US Secret Service personnel are escorting US diplomatic staff to waiting helicopters and military aircraft. We've just heard that the Pentagon and all major centres of government are being evacuated. I'm not sure if that's Green Park or St James's Park in London, or possibly Hyde Park. These scenes are just unbelievable. The sense of urgency is very clear. They're getting out as quickly as possible now. This is certainly a very frightening scene. All US military bases in Europe have been ordered to get their remaining aircraft into the air in what appears to be a frightening escalation in the conflict.